All right, we are back. Welcome back, everybody. So, in this one right here, we're going to be looking at what it's like to be addicted to heroin, to opiates, all of that, man. This is all. It's always a good reminder for me to remember the desperation, the mind games of what it was like, during active addiction. There's so many mind games that goes on while you're in withdrawal, and then after you get high. Like, there's so many mind games. For me, I'd wake up dope sick, right? Haven't used until the day before. My body and my mind would be screaming for the fix. There was nothing more in the world that I wanted than to get high at that very moment. The only thing that could make me feel better at that moment is just getting my fix. After that, I'd be ready to face life, like open the front door and say, "Come on, life, hit me with what you got. I'm ready." But like towards the end of that, like towards the end of right before I was starting to get sick and tired of that routine, right? Like I didn't I wanted to get better. I didn't want to keep using. I didn't want to keep repeating the same cycle over and over. I would only think like that while I was high. But when I'd wake up, I didn't want any of that. All I wanted to do is just get high. And that is one of the many things, one of the many reasons why the cycle of addiction just keeps going and going and going. There's a lot of factors that go into why we keep using, but that was a big one for me. Just that specific mind game. I'd wake up, I'd want to get high. After I'd get high, I'd want to not get high anymore. Like, I just wanted it all to stop. So, I mean, the only thing that could help help me out in that situation was to go to submit and then go to detox and then go to rehab. That was one of the only things that could stop me at that time, aside from getting hemmed up. you know the only thing that could stop me at that time is either force or me just being tapped out of cash, nowhere to go, and then just give detox a whirl, right? And then I'll be off the streets for that moment in time. But that is kind of what it looked like for me. I just wanted to highlight the like the mental agony of addiction, you know, for me, and just wanted to highlight kind of what it looked like. So right here we're going to take a look. This video I think is about 6 years old. So we're going to take a look at a girl named Maria. She's from Colorado, and she is staying at her sister's house because the vehicle, the van that she was staying in, broke down. So she's homeless, right? Her sister was nice enough to take her in, and so one of the guys from the local news is at the sister's house talking to Maria, and his tone, like his level of curiosity, his tone, his whole approach is 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 perfect. Like, it is so perfect. He's not judgmental with it. He is he is curious, yet he is asking kind of the right questions. Like, he has no idea what she's going through. He has no idea anything about the world aside from what he hears and maybe sees on the street, right? He's just curious. But the way he's speaking with her is like very fragile, very delicate. he knows it's a serious matter. So I just wanted to give this guy props, huge props, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
When was the last time you used?
Yesterday,
What time?
7 p.m.
Where were you?
My sister's. My sister's room.
Yeah. Why? Why did you use?
Because I started doing laundry here and I found a bag in my pocket. Other than that, before that I was 4 days into it. So I was kind of hurting yesterday. I was sweating. Got a lot of cramps and vomiting and diarrhea and all the things that happen. And I was rolling around her bed and I was like, well, I got to do laundry. So I got up and in my pain, I was kind of like throwing stuff, and in the washer there was a bag that was sealed. So kind of was like soap washed heroin, but I still did it. I put it in a thing and I shot it up my arm.
Wow, that right there is is like one of the best case scenarios for how she's feeling at that time. And what I mean by that is she was 4 days into her withdrawal. She was well over the hump. She was on her way down. Of course, she still feels like crap, but she was doing laundry at her sister's house, and she found a baggie, with some stuff in it. And what I mean by best case scenario is like she feels like crap. She's in full on withdrawal. The only thing that could make her feel better at that time is more dope. And she found that. And that is like a score. I think that only happened to me like maybe once, right? Only once. And I had no idea what I was going to do, like where to get my next fix. But I found some. I either found a baggie or I found like a old piece of foil with some stuff on it, enough for a few hits, you know. So I think that only happened maybe twice, and so yeah, she's talking about this situation right here.
How did you feel?
Like I let myself down.
How did you feel right after using?
All the pain went away, everything went away, and I felt motivated again. I felt like I could get up and do my daily life, and it's kind of weird because I was in bed with sweats and rolling around, and instantly it just makes you feel better. It just makes you feel better. And then I'm like myself, like right now, I think I'm really sweating right now and I'm feeling a little, but and I'm nervous because I'm just nervous. And I don't know. I just want help. I don't want to have to feel shitty and then put something in my arm. I mean, you could see that, you know, I don't want to have to, look at my arms.
How many times a day do you typically use?
Honestly, 23 times a day I'll shoot up heroin, and that's just heroin, not meth.
Yeah. Are you using meth too?
No, I haven't used meth for over like 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks.
Wow, that is her addiction. I never, I didn't know people that shoot up use that many times. Wow, 23 times. 23 times, dude. Even when I had enough, I don't even know if I smoked 23 times a day, maybe, but like I can't recall 23 separate sessions. That is a lot, maybe she's doing a little bit at a time, but the people I've been around, the people I've seen, they filled that bad boy up and then they would just take it straight, right? But 23 times, that's what her addiction looks like. That's wild.
To like shooting up that often, is that kind of what your life is? Does it kind of consume you?
It just consumes all day long. I just sit somewhere and get high. Whether it's in my van parked on the side of the street here, and I'll come to a residential neighborhood like this, and I just put blankets over my windows and sit and consistently get high, until I feel so, either till I nod out or till I'm so amped up that let's go do something, let's go to Walmart and rob it, or, I had my boyfriend's in jail, so he was the one usually providing it all for me. So now I'm kind of like in a rut because I don't provide it for myself.
Or are you committing crimes?
Not me. My boyfriend was. My boyfriend was committing everything, and I just kind of sat in the back and just watched. And reaped all the benefits of his crime and his drug. He brought all the drugs in the relationship, and and I mean he for the crime. I mean he was buying ounces of heroin at a time, so I didn't really have to worry about where my next fix was going to come from until October 23rd. He got arrested, and since then I kind of been struggling to find out where I'm going to get my next high from, because I don't have any way of, and I'm too scared to go still because I don't want to get in trouble. My mom would probably really beat the crap out of my hand and be like, "What did you do that for? You don't take from people." But
So where do you find the next high? I mean, are you able to?
Right now, I have a little piece of Suboxone that I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take. I don't know where else to get no more from. I know that there's a doctor that prescribes them that might take Medicaid, but I wouldn't have to pay for the prescription. So my mom, she did say that if I found someone that would prescribe me the medicine, that she would pay for my prescription.
So her boyfriend was her source of getting high, right? So he just asked her, like, since your boyfriend has been locked up, how have you been supporting your habit? And she mentions that she has a little piece of Suboxone left. Either she has a script or she may have got it on the street, but that is what is gonna I guess keep her somewhat well in the meantime. So I don't know why she didn't take it within the 4 days. Maybe she found it at the time she found the baggie. I don't know that situation, but he's just wondering, which I'm kind of wondering too, how she's been supporting her habit, since her man's been away. But there's a few questions there.
That's
So why do you want help? I mean, you called us, and you're.
I just feel like I was calling these numbers because they're on TV and it's repetitive commercials about how I've been. I just felt like they were speaking to me, like, Maria, get help. Maria, there's help. There's help. There's help. There's all these things on TV saying they're going to help you. So I called them, and
sorry about that. I accidentally pressed cancel. I mean, I hope. All right, looks good. I accidentally pressed cancel.
A lot of them just want to know where I'm getting my drugs from, how often I'm doing them, and what my insurance is. And then, oh, we'll call you back with a referral. And then nobody calls you back. Nobody calls you back. Nobody, nothing, and I've called 3 or 4 times and nobody's called me back. And I want help. I want my life back. I want to get a job. I feel that I'm ugly. I feel that I look horrible. I'm really thin. And I think I'm a beautiful woman. I'm a very smart woman. I have a culinary degree. I have a pharmacy degree, and I don't do anything with any of that because I'm hooked on drugs. I don't have anywhere to live, and I'm 37 years old. And I'm struggling just to feed myself. My family wasn't so willing to help me. Then I don't know where I'd be. I'd be out underneath the tree with other people, and I just think that's not a way to live. I don't want to live the rest of my life like that. I don't want to be on drugs. I do not want to be on drugs.
Wow. So, God, it's hard to hear that, man. Like, just see her. Like, I get it, man. I totally get it. This is sad. This is real sad. I haven't seen this full video, but this is pretty sad, man. Like, I feel for this girl. She's a native girl. They are a very passionate, emotional people, and she is at a low right now. She's at one of her lowest points. The fact that she acknowledges where she is at in life, even while dope sick, right? Even though she used the day before, she's already feeling like crap. Her withdrawals are back. And the fact that she's in this state of mind, wanting to stop, that speaks volumes right there. This girl needs help. She needs to be in detox, and then from there she needs to be in treatment for as long as possible. I was in treatment for 4 months. The last rehab I was at, I was thankful it was for 4 months. The longer the better. That's what worked for me. The longer the better. But usually I'd be thinking like this, like all this, I don't want to get high, I want to get better. All of that conversation that she just said would I wouldn't start thinking like that until after I got high. Because when I wanted to get high, I wanted to stop all of that. But like I said at the beginning, I'd wake up dope sick, and all I wanted to do would be to get high. So for the fact that she's dope sick right now and expressing herself, and you could tell this is all genuine, like this is not a front. The fact that she is in this current mind frame while dope sick, it looks to me as she's ready. She looks ready, man. This girl needs help. This girl wants help.
I'm tired of being on drugs. I'm tired of living in a car. I'm tired of feeling like I hate myself. I'm tired of, I struggle with a little bit of mental health. I've tried to kill myself before. I don't want to get to that level. I don't want to get to the point where I'm nailing a rope to the ceiling so I could take my own life. I don't want to get to that point again. And I feel that that's where I'm going, because the addiction to heroin is so intense. The craving for it is so intense, and it's nothing I've ever felt before. You know what I mean? Nothing I've ever dealt with before. So it's
you
just
have a family history too, right? I mean, talk about your family a little bit.
Yeah, my with
yeah, they have some. You have some addicts in your family. Right?
I have addicts on my mom's side of the family that my mom has always done her best to keep us away from. But as a young teenager, I ran away from home, and I kind of seeked out my mom's side of the family that was usually all they're all heroin addicts that are back in California. That like I moved here 17 years ago, so I really don't have any connection to them. Like I just know they do it. They don't. I've never got it from them or even asked them about it. But
what's it like to see them and hear that they're passing away?
It's scary. It's scary because I feel that that they're up, using every day, and their life was still going on, then mine could still go on. But because they're so long-term users and they're overdosing, it's scary because like I don't really know. Every time I stick that needle in my arm, I shake. I shake because I don't know if this is going to be the one that does me in, or is this going to be the one that makes me feel so good that I'm just so happy and I could do anything. I'll babysit all, like, and you're just like, you're so game for everything when you're high. You're just in this like, woo, yeah, that's part, kind of good mood. And when you don't have it, you're just kind of like, don't talk to me, leave me alone. You're just this whole different person.
Oh man, I get that. I get that. I mean, that's when I first started the pills, the Vicodin. I was at an all-time mental low. Omar's snoring right now. But yeah, like I used to, as soon as I got high, like I would feel giddy and just chipper and just goofy, right? And then fast forward, some time, wake up dope sick, years. I was just so irritable, man. Like, just get away from me. Don't touch me. All I want to do is just get high, right? And like I said, the only thing that could touch that, the only thing that could solve what you're feeling is getting high. So that's kind of what she was talking about right there.
So you've tried to call hotlines.
Yeah.
Have you tried anything else? Any other numbers or clinics?
No.
Okay.
I did call Stout Street, and they were trying to find funding for me, but because I've been to their 30-day program already, they weren't really interested in finding me funding. I guess they had other people that had never been there that were asking for funding. So,
what do you think it's going to take for you to get clean?
I just think it's going to take me a good program, and maybe I don't know about methadone. I never did any of those. I think I could do it without any help from any kind of medical like prescriptions that they're trying to give people. I think I'm a strong enough person to do it. I think it's going to take me to get out of Colorado. I think I need to go to somewhere where a rehab that's somewhere out of Colorado, to where I don't have any way to get back, or to just get up and walk out of it and be like, well, I'm leaving because I know what bus comes here and I'm going to go get it, because I mean, the drive, I'm a strong-willed person, but I feel that heroin is it's got some part of me that I don't even know how to control, like, or how to control it. You know, there's no controlling it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. There's just no controlling it. There's
Do you think getting out of Colorado will help you because you won't know anyone, or because there's so much heroin here? Why do you think getting out of Colorado will help you?
I think both of those reasons. I think because I won't know anyone, and because there is a lot of heroin here in Colorado. It's easy to get. Anybody can get it. I mean, I've seen kids that are younger than me. I mean, 20 years old down at the park, living underneath the bush already, because they want to do heroin every day. And it's sad because I have a kid that's 21 years old. You know, to be sitting underneath a bush with a 21-year-old that is been doing heroin for 2-3 years, and I'm like, wow, like, that's sad. It's sad that everybody can just get it. Anybody can get it. If you wanted to get it, you could walk down there, and all you have to do is dress a little more casual, and they'll give it to you. And they don't have no problem. They'll even give you a needle if you want it. And
So I don't know if this guy is with the news. Like, it kind of looks like a news setup, right? It looks like they just sent a reporter to the house, and they just set up, a little shop, little studio action, and conducted the interview. But earlier in the interview, she said she tried to call different hotlines. So maybe this guy is with a treatment center, or maybe he is from the news. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious about that. But yeah, like I said, his approach is genuine. Like, he really wants to know how she's feeling at the time, and he is just asking some great open-ended questions. Questions that uh, an outsider, might have, or a normie might have. What I mean by normie is somebody who is not an addict, right? Just a regular person that's never done drugs before. Well, yeah, I mean, just a person that has never been addicted, to this extent. So yeah, props to this guy for his whole approach, you know, his whole non-judgmental approach. And this is how you talk to an addict. She's in a crisis right now. He's doing a great job. Props to this guy.
Let's be hopeful here for a second. Okay. You get into a program and you get clean. What do you want to do? What's the future look like for Maria?
The future looks like for me is I just want to get the word out there to everybody. I want people to know how easy it is, and how many people I've met on the street that said that they started using heroin because they were addicted to Oxycontin, to prescribed medicine. I didn't start on prescribed medicine. I started with heroin from the street, but there's so many young little kids out there that, I mean, are my kids' age, that are hooked to heroin. And I kind of want to help people, and then I'm kind of scared because I feel that might drag me back into the scene of it, and I don't want to. I just want my life back. I want to be able to go and pick my 14-year-old up, and not have to run to a bathroom. I'm always in the bathroom. No matter where I'm at, I'm always in the bathroom because I'm rinsing the cottons or trying to get a little bit more out of the bag. I want to be normal. I want to have a normal life again. I only had one for 3 years. From 30 to 33, I had a pretty normal life. I was working, I was going to school, I was sober, and I was just being me and getting to enjoy Colorado. I love to snowboard, I like hiking, I've worked as a camp host, I love the mountains. I don't go up there. I didn't see a mountain this year. I didn't know summer. Did I even swim in a lake this year? And I don't know how many winters have passed. I haven't went snowboarding. I have all the gear. I have everything. I mean, I know how to get the passes. I know where the good mountains are, and I don't do any of that. Everything about me is just heroin.
My final thought here is where did your heroin use start? Did it start with prescriptions at all?
No.
Yeah, so before we get into that, she is basically saying she had many hobbies, right? She had so many different things that she loved doing. Once the heroin came a part of her life, once the heroin came and swept her off her feet, all of that she used to love to do just came to a stop. I mean, that is what heroin addiction looks like. That is what it looks like. Everything that you love, everything that means so much to you will take the back seat because your main priority is getting high. Your main priority is copping heroin, copping the dope. That is the main priority.
With heroin.
With heroin.
With heroin. I was sober for 3 years off of
meth.
methamphetamine. And it started with a boyfriend that had got off a drug court and said, hey, I'm going to go on a binge. And I was like, well, if you're going on a binge, I'm going on one with you. And he didn't hesitate to give me a needle with heroin in it. And it took me a long time it took me about a year to stop throwing up from it. But I consistently kept doing it and doing it and doing it until my body got used to it.
Tom, did you have anything for Maria? Is there anything else you feel like we're missing in terms of you not being able to get help?
Just that, I feel cheated by the people on TV. I feel like when I did call them, I was really emotional and crying, and I kind of explained everything to them that I have a history of suicide. I have a lot of different factors that are factoring in, that I need help, and nobody did anything.
And what were the names of these places? Addiction Recovery
Network and the Addiction Advisors or something.
So Maria, why now? You've had all this time.
Why now?
You hit a low?
How
would you describe it?
I hit, I not that I hit a low. Yeah, I hit a low. I have nowhere to live, and I have nothing left to give an addiction but my life. And I don't want to give it my life. I don't want to give it my life. I have nothing else to give it. It's took everything from me already. I have no home. I have nothing but my life, and I don't want to give it my life. My life is too important to me right now to just keep using and waste it away. And I did have a friend, my best friend, overdosed almost 2 years ago now. Well, she didn't overdose. She stopped breathing. But she had I think it was because of the heroin use that we were doing together, that caused her asthma to flare up and just kill her. And she had a brand new baby and little babies all around her. And I think that was my motivating force. My friend, someone so close to me, sister-in-law and friend, just to just stop breathing and have all her kids around her like that. And just,
Did you see her die?
I didn't see her die. I was at my house at the time. I had a home still, and just to know that someone that close to me stopped breathing from it and just is gone, and it's hard to accept and hard to move on. And I don't want that for my life. I don't want my family looking over at me, oh well, she's just another statistic, or oh, she just fell into the cracks of heroin, and I don't want my mom to bury me like that. I don't want my kids to remember me like that. I want my kids to know that I gave it all I got to stay sober. And that I'm trying, and I want help, and I want if I got into a program, I would do my program.
You take that Suboxone today?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
Are you gonna try to find more heroin soon?
No, I'm gonna try to take the Suboxone, and then I'm going to try to finish kicking it. I mean, 4 days. They say 4 or 5 days, and you can't take Suboxone for 72 hours. I took it, within 11 hours of using before, and it never affected me, but it's a opiate blocker. So even if I did opiates, it wouldn't affect me, which they say that's how people overdose, because they do an opiate blocker and then they keep doing heroin trying to get the high. I know that. I'm a pharmacy tech, so I know that if I do that, I'll end up eventually killing myself trying to get high on heroin. So I'm going to take the Suboxone. I'm going to stay at my sister's room and roll around in her bed until she tells me I got to leave. And whether where I go from there, I don't know. If I'm going to go to my mom's or where. I just know that as long as I'm here and I'm on Suboxone, and I broke my last needle this morning. When I got up this morning, I wanted to use around like 7 a.m. And I went in my sister's bathroom, and I sat there on the toilet for a little while, and I thought about it, and I just said I was going to wake her up and give her my needle, but then I thought, oh gosh, she might get mad because I have a needle in her house. So I just broke it and I wrapped it in tissue and I threw it in the trash. And I broke it to where you can't bend the needle back. There's no way you can put it back together. So I'm kind of, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Man. So that is what heroin addiction looks like, you guys. That is what it looks like. Everything that you love takes the back seat. Once, God, I've said it many times before, man. In my deepest, darkest addiction, if I had $20 and my dogs needed food or I needed to get high, I would always get high, because that is the only way I could get by. That's the only way I could function. I wouldn't be able to do anything else unless I was high. Like, it's sad, Thankfully, I'd always find a way to get my dogs their food, but that is just that's what my addiction looked like. This is what her addiction looked like. This is what a life on heroin looks like. If you guys have any questions out there, man, hit me up. I have a lot of experience, firsthand experience with this stuff. 4 years and 7 months clean right now. I was a life coach for a treatment center for a year and a half. While in treatment, I got certified as a recovery support specialist. I have my fingerprint clearance card. Like, I know this world all too well. So if you guys are out there and you're in need, hit me up. righteousmonkeyofficial@gmail.com or on Instagram, righteousmonkey, all one word. Hit me up anytime. All right. Thanks for listening.